So I've got the board sanded here. It is flat on both sides. And normally I start with the humped up side through the sander. So we'll get the hump out, then we'll flip it over and do the other side to get it nice and flat. And as I run it through this way, then I flip the board this way, then run it through again just to get it nice and flat. Now we'll take it to the table saw and rip the edges. Now the board is sanded nice and flat, the edges are ripped so it's nice and straight. Now the next thing we'll do is take it to the arm saw and cut these corners and cut the ends nice and square. Now I very well could use the board just like this, as a charcuterie board, as a serving tray, serving board, anything like that. But now when it comes to cutting boards, when you're looking at buying a cutting board, you want end grain. What is the end grain? Well, here I have an example. This is the end grain. These blocks have been cut and they've been flipped. The end grain is a lot stronger. It's a lot harder. It's a lot denser. So for chopping, for slicing, it's going to withstand. It's going to be a lot more durable. Now for gluing, you can use a clamp table set up like this. But for my case, something simple, I'm going to just use some clamps. So we'll get some clamps set up. We'll need some wood glue. We'll need a brush, our blocks, and some plastic down so that the glue doesn't stick to the table. I flipped these all so that I can glue these. This last one here, this one will be glued to this. I won't need to glue this side. That'll be on the outside. Now we'll get some blocks of wood on the end here, and we'll get our clamps set up. So it's important to note when you're clamping, you want to make sure that you apply even pressure, obviously. You want to make sure that you're not doing this or this with the boards, especially the end boards, and it'd be, sliding up with the glue. You don't want that because then you'll end up having to do a lot of extra work with sanding. Now I let the glue dry overnight. I took the clamps off, and as you can see we have some seepage, and that is okay. It's actually reassuring. No seepage is concerning. That's when you start to wonder if you used enough glue. So no problem here. We'll take a carbide scraper, scrape some of the worst of the stuff off, and then we'll run it through the sander again. So I've got the board sanded. It's nice and flat. There's no rocking motion in the board. And hey, check this out. Look at the grain of that. Looks like a face or something. Kind of cool. So I've got the board sanded up to 240 grit, and it's feeling really nice. Now I'll take the router and I'll break these edges.